Hey, Max here for Movie Madness Entertainment. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, notification bell for everything happening in entertainment, especially everything happening in DC with James Gunn and his DC universe. This video is about, well, I'm going to do a live stream later tonight, the mic drop. So tune in 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, where we'll begin to be discussing this with the mic drop panel, which is my co-host Voltaire and whoever else shows up that got the invitation. But I honestly want to say this after seeing the different tribes of DC. And I really, please, in the comment section, be fair. Let's get your real comments on, real thoughts on this. The Snyder Bros and the Gunn Nuts, which I am part of both. I was a Snyder bro first, was not a Hamada bro. I know some Hamada bros. I don't understand that at all. But I'm saying every single version of DC. And once the Superman trailer, now I know, the Zack Snyder's The Blueprint conversation. Really, Superman and the comics are the blueprint, really. So when I see Gun Nuts, which not all of them, but the majority of them are anti-Snyder, and Snyder Bros, the majority of them that are still hanging on, which different topic, bad news for Snyder fans with Rebel Moon and Netflix is all I'm saying. It does not sound great, but I'll do a separate topic on that. Overly criticized for the narrative of their tribe. I look at this and I laugh. Now, this was probably put together by a Snyder bro to show, the blueprint. But I gotta say, there is so much that's there's differences too, of course. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, how can all these camps say, oh, thank God it's not that dark and dreary Superman anymore? Cavill was smiling in Man of Steel and BVS. He just had some really difficult circumstances for the majority of the film, including dying. He died in one of those movies, okay? But there is a lot similar here about how the public receives Batman. I have a Batman hat. Superman. I am a little tired too. I'm going to go exercise after this. Superman. About what consequences there are. A lot of the fight sequences, there's a lot that's borrows from both BVS, Justice League in the comics. And you know why? Because they're both Superman. And you know what? There's differences in the suit too, but they both look great to me. I mean, I go back and forth on the trunks. I don't hate them, but I don't know. They're growing on me again. I was against them. I was for them. I was against them. And now they're growing on me again, like in this sequence. Now, it's brighter here because the context that he is outside this version of Superman. But you really, I have the sound off. Let's really go slow playback here so you could see. Now, not every scene is like this, but there's a lot of similarities. And you know why? Because they both are about Superman in the fire, which I prefer the Corn Sweat version here. The Zod taking down buildings. Remember, everyone's like, oh my God, the destruction. And I think people do not keep the same energy because of their camps. The kaiju and Doomsday, and then catching people when they're fast. Oh, look at that. There's a lot there. And they both look great to me. So that's why I say you're all ridiculous. Even, I don't even remember the throwing the can in Man of Steel. I got to rewatch that. I guess it's there. Yeah. Fortress of Solitude, there's going to be similarities. But this is where I want to call out all sides equally. And then I know in the comment section, but the other side is so toxic. I just think everyone's ridiculous. And I want to see a conclusion of the Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah, even the being hurt on the ground, which Superman has a fight, But I thought that'd be interesting, and that was going to be all this video was for. And then I was YouTubing. I put in the YouTube search for James Gunn giving props to Zack Snyder about how he learned from his storyboards. And I couldn't find the clip. I know there's on X, Film Junkie has a clip from a video he did a while ago that shows the audio of, James Gunn saying he's influenced because the way he uses storyboards and sets up those movies, I think is where the most of the influence for the context of what James Gunn is saying. But then our boy Tyrone MAGNUS, the million sub reactor, which I got to start reacting to more things. I got to react to everything. Had a video that dropped 6 hours ago, and I may do more reactions because I got a good response in the last one. I don't want my whole channel to be that though. So I used to over react to everything. So let's react to Tyrone MAGNUS is James Gunn copying Zack Snyder. Now, what I will say, my prediction for Tyrone is he plays a little bit to his bubble, his tribe of Snyder bros, and is overly critical and does it for entertainment value. In fact, because I think the people that give him more engagement are Tyrone MAGNUS's haters. I think that's why he succeeds. So I think he's going to say, and this is probably where the cope is coming in from a lot of Snyder bros, is they can't admit that they like things happening in this trailer. It has to be a copy if there's something they like. Because there's a lot of stuff in this trailer that I personally like because I've seen something not exact copy, but similar before, and great scenes with Superman. And that's why, now I think a lot of people are coping, and instead of saying, oh, that looks cool, it's now copying. So without even watching this, I'm gonna guess that's gonna be Tyrone's angle in here, but I don't know. Let's see.
Bring him to me.
Yeah. Now that's from DC Universe, right?
I'm gonna beat your ass.
Okay.
So
I like. He has a great intro. How he walks on. That's great, and a great nerd shelf. And the angle. Maybe I should do that angle. I don't know.
Getting tagged in this over and over and over.
You
again.
love it. You love it, Tyrone. Yeah,
and,
right.
Okay.
Send me
I'll
stuff.
talk about it. Okay.
Wow.
That's my best Liv Morgan impression. If you're a wrestling fan, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. All right.
I guess this is what fans mean by Zack Snyder is the blueprint.
How about the Superman comics, the blueprint? And I'm a Zack
So
Snyder
the question fan. is because what fans are going to say is that he's just copying Zack. That's what they're going to say.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try and give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's just inspired by Zack.
All right. Tyrone, see, he's not as bad as people say. He's not like the harsh critic. Which, if you listen to my audience and to people not liking Tyrone, they act like he's as bad as the harsh critic. And shout out to the harsh critic. See, inspired. Let's give him a few minutes to cook. See if he throws any other jabs though, because I know he's not the biggest fan of James Gunn. Let's see.
Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe these are callbacks.
He better not be doing a bait and
switch. Movies, letting you know that this is a new Superman.
Yeah.
Yet inspired by Zack's Superman. Maybe that's what it is.
Yes.
And I mean that seriously. I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. He's going to
instead of just being like, give us the same thing. So I know that people, they are tearing this trailer apart.
I don't think so.
Because there are very, very similar shots to Zack's movies. And there's destruction in these movies, buildings falling all over. That doesn't appear to be an abandoned part of town. And people were harassed in Warner Brothers over that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was too violent.
feel like the overly critical gun nuts that criticize Zack are not going to keep that same energy when it's their tribe, when it's their god, when their James Gunn makes similar decisions in a populated area. I think they're going to give him a pass.
All the people. Independence Day destroyed cities around the planet. Aliens destroyed cities around the planet, but Superman having a fight, alien versus alien, that's too much. Like, I don't get that. So you all know that when this movie comes out, if there is anything that happens in this movie, and it's not scrutinized, but it was scrutinized in Zack's, you already know you got a whole lot of comments coming.
I can't wait. I can't
good
wait
luck,
for this.
Warner Brothers.
I can't wait for these.
You know it's
battles.
coming. You know as well as I
ready.
do it's coming.
I'm ready.
Okay?
I'm ready.
Zack has very passionate fans. James Gunn has very passionate fans. Christopher Nolan has very passionate fans. It's how it is. So it's just, it comes with the territory. Even Henry Cavill talks about the passion of fans.
And other things.
And he doesn't talk about it being a bad thing. He talks about it being a good thing. Okay? And fans express themselves. I know that Henry knows that there is a small minority that are very toxic and only try to hurt people and ruin people's lives and reputation, all that stuff. He's not talking about them. He's talking about you and me and the rest of fandom, no matter who you love, and our passion and how we express ourselves. Okay. And we should be listened to. And as you can see, they are listening because they have changed the scene of where Superman gets hit in the head with the can.
I don't know.
And he blinks.
They're acting like this is a mistake, and then James Gunn was reacting to criticism. It might have just been before the work. It just might have been a creative decision that Superman doesn't blink. I honestly don't know. Like, I think even though he's super powered, if someone throws something at him, I think he would still might blink, but it's a creative decision. I don't think it's necessarily because of criticism. Whatever. I guess I'm watching this whole thing.
Wouldn't bother Superman whatsoever. So
but he would still might blink.
You can look at it both ways, as it being a big deal and not being a big deal. I could see him blinking because he feels it.
I'm going to skip ahead because I don't want to do the whole video. Okay, let's see.
Like the first trailer, although the other trailers got better. And other than that one woke garbage moment.
Oh, God.
In
Tyrone, see, you were doing so well. And then you do. You know what's garbage is people that say woke garbage. It's just a cheap claim without any substance behind it. What's the woke garb? Okay, let's give him a shot. He was doing so well until then. That's my major criticism with Tyrone. Not that he's a Snyder bro. It's that although it's very rewarding on the internet if you say these things, these accusations. Okay.
Transformers 1. That was like top 2 Transformers movies of all time. You know what I mean? Animated, at least. You know, if you want to go like that. But if you want to go of all time, it's definitely in the top 5. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. These are definitely some glaring similarities, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that it is merely inspiration from his friend's movie.
Okay. All right, that's good. Am I still subscribed? Oh, I'll subscribe. I'm subscribed to my personal channel that I don't stream on, you know. I'll give him a thumbs up, even though he had that woke garbage stuff in there. But that's my thoughts. I don't think it's an exact copy. I feel like the argument keeps coming up because I think it's DC fans that are tribalistic for Snyder can't admit that certain things in here look cool and similar, but not a copy to the Snyderverse. And I think that the gun nuts, I'm calling out both sides, are hypocritical because things that they whined about for years since BVS, there's things in here that's similar, including you did not get Superman smiling until the second trailer when he's talking to Lois, which if Lois was interviewing me sitting beside me, I'd be smiling too. You know what I'm saying? So similar things they do not keep the same energy for Gunn that they had for Zack and the overly critical. So I think everyone's full of it. But you know what the good thing is? We're going to have lots of great, cordial, objective DC discussions about Superman in a few months. That's what's great. Really objective, constructive criticism is coming your way, and we'll be talking about the different versions of Superman for years, and we'll see if Brian will stay on the channel. Have a good one, everyone. I'll see you next time.